With the stroke of a pen, a 100-year journey began.
Well, I was born in Idaho on a homestead near Kilgore.
In the southeast corner of a state, young enough to still be wild.
But my folks were from England, and they homesteaded there in 1900.
But smart enough to start looking forward.
It was an open canal with a little footbridge across it in 26. It had a loop that went around Fraser Hall and the old ad building, which became Swanson Hall. Colonial Hall is still there. It was a girls' dorm when I was here. And Fraser Hall was the administration building after it was built, and it replaced Swanson Hall, which wasn't called Swanson Hall in those days. Originally it was the administration building, and then it became the old ad building.
I used to ride my bike across town to come over and watch the old football team play right out here in the quad when that was the football field. So I've been coming over here since I was about 9 or 10 years old enough to go across the tracks and get the other side of town.
One nice thing when I was going to school, I think it was 5 guys to 1 girl, or four guys to 1 girl, which was really nice.
My mother went to school here in 1909 and 10, I think, and my sister went to school here. So my heritage here goes back a long way.
Oh, I had a wonderful time. This university was like a family unit. I never knew prejudice or discrimination, ever.
My earliest recollections of the university were favorable ones. It was a place to go and explore. Where the mini dome now stands, my friend and I had an underground fort.
Probably the earliest memories are just going to the football games in Spud Bowl. You know, gee, that was great fun for a young person.
Of course, the dresses changed, and hairstyles.
We had a good time, and I don't think any of our pranks were destructive. Most of them were very educational.
This is not the same campus as it was in 1965.
It was a growing time. Of course, you know, we all knew where we were going as soon as we graduated.
The dorms were a mixture of the kids that were on scholarship for basketball and football. Our floor had several of the guys from the 1976 team that beat UCLA.
All kinds of memories of Idaho State, you know. It's been a part of my life for a long time.
All of the freshmen had to wear green beanies.
No, I don't think I ever wore a beanie.
We wore green beanies because we were green, didn't know much about college life or life in general.
Maybe I was too ornery, I don't know.
Debbie Holt's niece, she dyed her hair rather than wear a beanie.
And we had to wear that things for 5 days, 7 days, something like that. I can't recall how long, but we had to wear the beanies and put up with the wrath and the capriciousness of the upperclassmen.
It was nice to be able to express myself as a student and to be accepted for who I was, and I think that still is the case today.
I got to know a lot of my teachers, a lot of the professors, and it was easier for me to get involved with things. I didn't feel quite as overwhelmed.
That's the first thing that impressed me once I started school here was how friendly all the people were.
The thing that impresses me most about the students at ISU is that they're hardworking students and they want to do more than just be taught.
This is my 3rd year at Idaho State, and each year it's confirmation that I made the right choice.
Certainly our international students say that, and our out-of-state students are also pleasantly surprised when they come here.
The faculty is dedicated, more so than some of the other institutions in this state.
I have probably put on more mileage in the car than any other nursing faculty because I've traveled all over the state taking classes to the communities.
I'm firmly convinced that it's the best academic institution in Idaho. It's blessed with an outstanding faculty, people who are here, who love their teaching, love their research.
We stack up not only against other Idaho institutions, but throughout the United States.
And I really enjoy the teachers who put their heart and soul into teaching. When they get in front of a classroom, just explode with energy.
In the 70s, there were a lot more activities to do that potentially could get you in trouble. And so the involvement of everybody was just fantastic, exciting.
the most colorful and exciting parts of university life is its intercollegiate sports program. To talk about this aspect of ISU today, I've asked the athletic director at the university, Mr. W. Holt, to be with us.
Dave Cash and myself, we were the first team, Armistice Day 1937, to play in the new Spud Bowl.
But I remember going there and sitting on the stone seats and freezing parts of our anatomy while we watched the Idaho State football games.
It was football then, you know. We had leather helmets, no face mask. Everybody played offense and defense. We didn't have platoons.
One game we played against a school from California, it was at Chaffee. I think it was about 8 below zero. And the poor guys in California, and they got off the bus and looked at that. They almost got back on the bus and went home. And the way they played, I think they should have.
We needed a new football stadium because we could only seat 3,000.
I have thought for a number of years that our only answer was to play on Saturday night under a roof.
We had a new president, President Davis.
And we came up with this multi-purpose sports arena, which the students voted an increase in student fees to make this possible. So it looks like the arena is off the ground.
I never forget the time when Dr. Davis said he'd go. He said, well, it better work or you and I are both gone.
There's probably a $6.5 million impact a year that's directly attributable to Holt Arena's activity.
When we won the national championship in '81, and I'm not even a football player, you know, but all of a sudden, people knowing Idaho State University, you guys, yeah.
Well, of course, the one that comes to mind in the Olympics is Ed Sander, our heavyweight, who fought the Russian for the World Championship. Then Spider Webb, Roger Rouse, Jerry Armstrong, and of course Amber Weldy just lately, you know, she represented the state of Idaho in the Olympic Games.
I think it's really neat for the rest of the country to see that this small town and this small community can produce major athletes, and to know that I have the community behind me and it is small enough to feel like it's family to me. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I've stayed, is that it's such a nice, tight community that I feel like I'm 100% supported here.
You have the university tied to the community with town and gown, as we used to call it.
When we moved here, it was a railroad town in which there happened to be a college. That ratio has reversed. It is now a university town that the train runs through.
This university, in my opinion, and I think correctly so, is now the dominant factor in this community.
When you have young people who go to school here and stay here, then obviously that builds the economy over time. And these are well-educated people.
Large percentage of our graduates stay right in Idaho.
You have to assume that Idaho State University is a benefit not just to Pocatello, but it's a benefit to Twin Falls, it's a benefit to Idaho Falls, it's a benefit to the Upper Valley, it's a benefit to the Lower Valley. It has a regional impact.
When I moved to Idaho Falls 9 years ago, there were probably less than a couple hundred students taking classes. And most of those students who took class in Idaho Falls also had to ride the bus and come to Pocatello quite often. Proud to say that we have 2,300 of ISU's best students in Idaho Falls.
And so it's a very important thing to our community, not only just because it grants degrees, but because it adds a cultural element to our community that we don't otherwise have.
You've got to have some diverse ideas, some diverse religions. You've got to have that diversity in order to grow.
A college or university is the most important asset that any community can have.
The 100-year thing, you know, we're going to be around maybe 200 or 300 years from now. It's a nice thing to go through, but there's nothing particularly significant about the fact that it's 100 years rather than 110 or 90. It's just a nice time to have a celebration.
Well, I think it's an opportunity for us to reflect on the university's past and to be proud of our accomplishments over the course of that time, but also to look toward the future, set some goals, and then celebrate all of that.
The other thing about anniversaries that I like, and I think it's very good, it gives us a chance to project into the future. What will we like to see happen?
I think that this is a real opportunity for the university and the community to share in a celebration.
It's a significant milestone and one that is certainly worthy of extended and hearty celebration.
People really do remember a lot about Idaho State and hold it very fondly. And when I tell people we're approaching our 100th birthday, they want to come back and be part of that.
I think the important thing about a centennial in today's world of change is the fact that you made it.
We're going to have a big party, and we're going to celebrate statewide, and everyone's going to know it.
And I'm going to be there to see that nobody blows out the candles.
Well, to Idaho State University and all the great faculty and staff and the wonderful students that really are the basis for the university, as well as the alums, I just say congratulations on 100 years of great success. But 100 years is just the beginning. Idaho State University has a fantastic future, and it's because of all of you.